All right, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, and salutations to those that are doing this work in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Nathaniel from the GMS Camp Atlanta. We're back at you the spirit with another lesson, and I pray I hope this lesson is edifying. Give me 1 second. All right, Salakia. So, um, we're hearing a lot on the internet about, the so-called black man who's looking at the black woman as his enemy now. Okay. For so long, the so-called black woman has been doing everything that she could to destroy and to destroy the so-called black man. She's been siding with, the enemies, which is a part of the curses that we're under, but the curses are being broken, and this is one aspect of the curses being passed on to Esau Edom and coming off of the so-called Israelite man, because now he's actually seeing that the so-called black woman is his enemy. Okay, he's actually seeing that, hey, this woman, this murderer of our children, the one that will put you on child support, right? The one that would have you incarcerated, the one that will go sleep with your friend or go sleep with another man and say it's your baby, the one that will have your seed put to death inside of her womb. This is the so-called black woman. All right. Now, for a very long time, she has been showing the so-called black man that she is the enemy. And the so-called black man, being that we are forgiving, a black men are very forgiving and in a lot of cases naive, they've been, the so-called black man and the so-called black woman. But now looking at their history, they're like, no, fuck that. This bitch is our enemy. The so-called black woman is the enemy of the man. It's in the scriptures. And now, Jake is seeing it. And they're what they're saying is that when there's this civil war, it's not if, because we got if in there, as you can see in the title, it says black men are preparing to smoke black women if if a civil war happens. It's not if, it's going to. And they're doing that, they're saying this with good cause, because anytime the so-called black woman has been in a position of authority, she's always routed out the black man. Always. She's always thrown him under the bus and thrown him to his doom. Every single time. When Esau came to the so-called black man, as a matter of fact, let's start off with a precept real quick. Let's start off with this Micah 7 and 10, and it says, "Then she that is mine enemy shall see it." Okay. Now, the key point in there is that this woman is the enemy. It says, "Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, Where is the Lord thy God? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trampled. She shall be trodden down as the mire in the streets." And we bring out this precept all the time, and it's having Salaki. It's having more and more relevance, this day, because we're starting to really see men call women their enemy. At first, it just started off with the men of the Lord. The men out on the highways and the byways calling the so-called black woman our enemies. I mean, come on, think about it, man. You have a so-called black woman. She got 4 or 5 kids by about 4 or 5 different men, saying that all of them ain't shit, putting all of them on child support, coming up with plans to put these men on child support. Scheming on men so that they can walk away with half of their money when the man just wants to start a family, just being excessively cruel, having men incarcerated, for arbitrary things. You see, this is what the women of our nation have done. So they have shown that they are the enemy. Okay, so this is Micah 7:10. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where's the Lord thy God? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now should she be trodden down as a mire in the streets. And that's what happens when you're a traitor. That's what happens when you know you turn against your own kind. All right, and now as we're coming into the fall of Esau's system, we're also coming into the fall of the so-called black woman because you have tied yourself to this man. Okay, and in this video that I'm about to play, you see this Jake here. He's talking about how, yeah, when he see it happen, he's not gonna stop it. He's not gonna join in. Which a lot of y'all Jakes, the spirit is gonna take over and have y'all join in on these women out here, you know, because they need that women need a great humbling. You know, just because you didn't see the blood spilled out on the streets, because you didn't see it on the news, they've killed over 23 million so-called black men in the womb. That's war. That's war against and a genocide against your own kind. Just imagine all of the children and they've aborted 23 million since the 1970s, right? Just think, since 1970, if those children that were born in the 70s and in the 80s, right, were able to grow and reproduce, how many people Jake would have in its community right now? The numbers, right? Now, ultimately, it's the spirit of the Lord. This is prophecy, right? However, you cannot overlook the evils that this woman, the so-called black woman, has done, and it's not being overlooked anymore. So, this video that I'm gonna play, you have this Jake, and he's speaking about how he's hearing how many different forms of black men are saying, you know what, this woman, this so-called black woman, is the enemy. And this is rightfully so, that she's the enemy. I mean, I've heard uh 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 podcasts of black women calling for white men, KKK members, to force black men to do what exactly? Talking about some, hey, we'll be happy if they don't exist anymore. We'll choose the bear, bullet bags. I mean, y'all say the most atrocious things, and y'all think people ain't listening. Well, y'all showing us in your actions. Y'all showing the so-called black man with your actions throughout the years what y'all really think of us. You know, and now through cross generations of abuse, the so-called black man is finally getting to the point to where he fed up. He fed up. He tired of y'all bitches. And just like the elders and the apostles say all the time, and just like the scriptures say, we don't need the Israelite woman, to reproduce. Don't need your ass at all. Okay, we can have our we can reproduce with any seed, with any woman on the planet, because we understand that it's a seed line thing. Okay, so without further ado, we're gonna play this video, and I just want you to listen in onto what this man is saying, because what he's saying is, if you're a so-called black woman, you should really be concerned about this. As a matter of fact, let's go here. Let's go to Isaiah 19, and let's go to verse 2, and it says, "And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and everyone, and every and like, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." Okay, verse 3: "And the spirit of Egypt shall fall in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to the wizards. I'm sorry, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards." Okay, so there is going to be a civil war, as he's about to speak about. It's not going to be an if. There is going to be a civil war, and the continents and the spirit of Egypt, America being that, oh, the pride of America, all that shit gonna fail. And then all of these men that you women have created are going to be your enemy in that day. Okay? And shame, the shame that you have so long have not acknowledged, the accountability that you so long did not want to be accountable for. It's going to come falling down on you like a ton of bricks, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. Okay? And you're going to eat it. You're going to drink the cup. You're going to be accountable. And just like these so called white people are going to be accountable for what their forefathers did and what they continue to do, you bitches, you black bitches out there, are going to be accountable for what your foremothers did and what you continue to do. Okay? So without further ado, here we go.
I just seen a video of some type of influencer. I don't know if the shit true, but he's saying on some social site that black men are having discussions that if it's ever a civil war, that they need to eliminate these feminists, black women.
There's videos of black men in clubhouse groups having conversations saying if a civil war broke out, their first and biggest enemy is the black woman, because they believe white men will use black women to root out black men or find out where black men are hiding so they can find them and kill them. You have black men in groups having these conversations because they believe there's a pending war, Project 2025, everything. And for them up here, their biological mates, black women, if that time comes, black women are the enemy. If they see a black woman, take her out because she's with white men. Y'all don't understand how serious this is.
I take them out because they think that they will notify white men where they're located. And I sent this video. Somebody sent me the video. I sent the video to a female, and she was shocked. I think it is a shock for women. But I ain't gonna lie, that kind of shocked me too, because I didn't even think, my mind didn't even go to that area. But when I saw the video and thought about it, I'm like, shit, they right. Like, nobody is giving, like, where's the outrage for these bitches talking about bullet bags and calling the KKs on us to make sure we don't exist? That shit is real. The gaslighting. So basically what I'm getting is motherfuckers think that black men life is just, like, we not supposed to care about our life. Like, it shouldn't be shocking that black.
Now, if you look at the actions of the so-called black woman, she has displayed behavior of showing that she don't care about the so-called black man's life. And the so-called black man, the Lord is putting a spirit on the so-called black man to see it. And I've said it in a few videos before, and I'll say it again. As this system is collapsing, this is the perfect time for the Lord to put the spirit of bitterness and hatred on the so-called black man. You think the so-called black man gives a fuck about your female trauma? You always want to say the black woman this and the black woman that. Man, the so-called black man was buck broken in front of his damn woman. Okay? The so-called black man was treated the worst. They used you as his enemy. He had got treated the worst out of everybody. Okay? So you want to sit there and talk about how much y'all females done been through? You ain't been through as much as the so-called black man. Okay, you've been through some shit, but you ain't. Hey, they did it worse. Jake got it the worst. Okay, out of all the tribes, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi got it the worst. Okay, all other tribes got it. Nobody's taking it from you. Okay. Not only did Judah, Benjamin, and Levi go through, especially Judah, go through a genocide, they went through the slavery. You know. So, and then on top of that, we're living in a time where Jake, the so-called black man, is hated by everybody, even his own. Even his own. Okay. So now Jake is saying, nah, we done with it. We done with the so-called black woman. We done with her. And rightfully so. And I'm really glad these black bitches are about to get their comeuppance. I'm really glad the so-called white man and these black women are about to get their comeuppance, and it's going to happen fast. It's going to happen really, really fast. And Isaiah 4:1 is going to come very, very fast, and it's going to humble a lot of you women very quickly. It's going to go from I'm strong and independent to please, 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 I'll do anything.
Men want to live and love their life. Like our life is sacred, but it's not looked at like that. It's like people look at us like we just supposed to sacrifice ourselves, and it's like for what? So now, because it makes sense to me, these women did too much. They let us know who they with. They with our enemy. Most of them. See, that's the thing. It ain't even like this a little. A lot of y'all think this is a small group on TikTok. So no, this most of y'all. Most of the sisters, they might not go to that extreme, but they connected to them. They still want to have a connection with bitches that'll go to that extreme, and they don't take it serious because it ain't they like being talked about. But on this side, we seeing the real damage.
Now,
so when I think about that,
when we go to the comments, right? It says, "Look at this. Look at all the men. Rich dad. I don't doubt it. My mother and sister would definitely be on their side. They will betray us. These are guys. They will betray us. Be sure of that. My baby mama and my stepmama tried to set me up and feed me right to the beast. Most of them are our enemies, and it's sad. They're gonna sell us out. This ain't pretty. It's real, and the internet is forever. This conversation is way more real than any of us understand. This is a scary thought. This is scary. This is a scary thought. Every black man is alone right now. We got black men against us. We got black women. We got black women again. We got black children, and it is not telling. I don't know what the fuck this person is trying to say. All facts, no lies told. Are you ready to step over the bodies? Yeah, most of them are saying yeah. I've been saying this on social media for the last 17 years. We were unfortunately more connected when our ancestors was in chains. At least we helped each other. Just facts, just the truth. It's real. I just want to separate. I just want to separate the real. A goddess from the NPCs. Ain't no fucking goddesses, man. Shut up. We are all by ourselves. The node lets you know who's on the same page. I think it's truth. I think it's some truth to that. Sad to say, but something to think about. You see, all these men. You see, all these men are saying the same thing, and it's not just on this particular platform. It's on many different platforms. The so-called black man is tired of the so-called black woman. Sick of her. Sick of her. Okay? She is completely and utterly destroyed. All right? So, we're going to grab some precepts. This is Jeremiah. Jeremiah 31 and 22. And it says, how long will thou go about, O backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. And and these women have been put in positions of authority, and look at what they've shown, what they're able to do with their authority. Look at what they've done with it. You see, they didn't help uplift black men. Like black men, when we get in authority, we try to uplift our whole nation. Well, we're not talking about the sellouts. We're just talking about the average everyday Jake. The average everyday Jake, will want to uplift his people. At the very minimum, he would just not be destructive. Now I wouldn't say that Jake would try to lift up his people. Let me correct that. You know what I'm saying? Because he wouldn't. The men of the Lord would, by preaching His word. However, Jake, he'd just take his money and probably roll out. So let me just correct that. However, Jake more than likely won't get on the internet talking about kill all the black women and black women should be bullet bags. Jake wouldn't do that, but the so-called black woman would. And Jake wouldn't be so quickly to put his child in the womb to death as the so-called black woman would. You know, she'll run to that abortion clinic and have him have that baby put to death. You know, so let me just correct that real quick. All right, and um, all right. So when they had the power, when women had the power, look at what they did with it. Look at what they did with the power that the Lord gave them. All right, they became destructive, and now the men are through with them. And the men, hey, for all intents and purposes, it seems like the men are out for blood. You know, they said when they want to do it now, but they want to do it. They want to do it where they won't get in trouble with Esau's law. That's why I say if the civil war is going to be a level of lawlessness. Okay, that's going to be that sedition. Second Ezra, the 15th chapter. Okay, and around the 15th to 16th verse. Okay, so there's going to be that sedition. So when that happens, there's not going to be any laws or 911. You remember we've been saying it for a long ass time. You women are going to be in trouble when there's no longer a 911. Okay, and that 911 is that no 911 is right around the corner. Okay, this is Isaiah 32 and 9. It says, "Rise up, you women that are at ease, and hear my voice, you careless daughters. Give ear to my speech, because for so long you women have been careless. You've been given the power and not realizing, you know, this is a quote from Spider-Man, but it's a true quote when it says, with great power comes great responsibility. Y'all females have been put in a position of power and in a position of authority, right? And y'all been careless with y'all power. Y'all been careless with y'all authority. You've used that to destroy. You've been tricked. You use this feminism shit, and you've been tricked to think that because you had this power and because you had this authority, you can destroy. You can destroy the man. You thought that for some reason the man really wasn't an authority no more. That you had the right to do what you've been doing. Well, guess what? All y'all women ain't nothing but a whores and adulteresses, okay, wicked at, and y'all need to be put put out of y'all misery. Excuse me. Salakia is damn illnesses that keep coming out of nowhere. Okay. It says many days and years you should be troubled, you careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. And the vintage is just more than just, you know, the clothes and this and this and this that these women get. It's also the accessibility to the men. The accessibility to men that allow that will give you a pass for the evil that you've done. That accessibility is gone. Not only are men not are saying to themselves, um, they don't want to have nothing to do. They don't have they don't they saying that they don't want that box no more. They don't care about how you look. They don't care about any of those things that you do. Men are looking at women like y'all wear fake hair, fake nails, fake umbrellas, fake eyes. Y'all put on the makeup. You get BBLs. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing about you natural. Everything is prosthetic. Men like we don't want that shit no more. They don't want that. You can keep the stank box. You can keep all that. Okay? It says, tremble, you women that are at ease. Yes, tremble. Tremble. Okay? Tremble. Because not only is this system going to fail, but the men that you have betrayed are going to come after you. It says, be troubled. You careless one, strip you and make you bare. Gird up sackcloth upon your loins. Be afraid. You see, y'all so-called black women for so long have been thinking that, you know, the so-called black man was going to continue to run by your side, even though y'all been doing all this evil. That shit is not the case because the Lord is putting a spirit on these men to be this way. Yahweh Shai Shai is putting this on y'all on the men's spirit to be this way because the measure is full. Time is up. Esau's system is coming to an end. So all of this the spirit of slumber that Jake has been in a daze, you know, not really acting upon the wickedness that you women have been doing, just giving a pass, them days are over with. Okay? It says they shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, and for the fruitful vines. It's not gonna come. It's over with. You gotta remember, a lot of these things that you women were having access to was because the men were allowing that shit. Now the men are your enemies. At first, you were just the enemy of the man, and the man wasn't looking at you as the enemy. But now you are the enemy of the man. Okay? And you were already Esau's enemy. You were just looked upon as a tool. So now you're stuck in the middle. You have an enemy on the left hand side and an enemy on the right hand side. Nobody wants the so called black woman. Okay? Because you're an evil, treacherous piece of shit. You know, and I know firsthand about how evil these black women are. Okay? I'm gonna grab a few more. Couple more. So we're gonna go to the book of Ecclesiastes. And I say good, man. I say good. I say, let these women get what's coming to them because they need a great humbling. They need to be humbled and they need to be humbled quickly. This is Ezekiel 7-26, and it says, and I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands is as bands. Whoso pleaseth the Lord shall escape her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. And a lot of time, y'all men have been taken by these women whose hearts, which goes into your mind, the la'ab, is snares and nets, traps that would traitor on you, take your house, take your car, take your wealth, take everything that belongs to you, use your children as a weapon against you, make your life a living hell, make you miserable. Now they're doing this new thing now. My rib put me up on it last night where, they're no longer putting men on child support. They're signing you up child support and putting child abandonment charges on you. Okay? This is what these bitches are doing now. Oh, they done found another way to make life more miserable for the so-called black man. Oh, we're not gonna just put you on child support. Oh no, we went to see you in jail. We're gonna put child abandonment charges on you so you can go to prison. Okay? This is what these women are out here contemplating now. So when all this hell breaks loose and this system finally breaks completely, and y'all women are just fair game, y'all gonna see those mouths gonna get shut, okay? Y'all women gonna fall in line, but for a lot of y'all, it's already far too late. So I got one more scripture. Well, actually, two more. This is Ecclesiasticus 25:19. It says, "All wickedness is but a little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall on her." Yeah, as I was saying, they just trying to put you in jail now. Forget the child support. Just go straight to jail for child abandonment. Okay, this is the wicked. This is how these women are trying to get out here and hurt the men for what? They're taking away. They'll take away the child, make it difficult for you to see the child, and then want to file child abandonment charges on you. This is the mindset of these damn women out here. So you think men gonna have any mercy on them? No, the Lord gonna put the spirit on these men not to have no mercy on these women. Okay, I got one more precept. We're gonna close out on this. This is Ecclesiasticus 24:25. This is the right one. Was it 25 and 24? It might have been 25 and 24. Oh yeah, Slacky. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Okay, so there it is. You cannot trust these women out here, and now it is known. All right. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. So with that, I'm gonna end it off by giving all praises, going honor to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakakadosh. Double honors to the elders and the apostle and millstones. Until next time I came, I say shalom.